Hi friends, welcome to my technical series of coating. In today's session, I'll be explaining about the phosphating, the different types of phosphating, and I'll be explaining in detail about each type of phosphating. Now let me go into this lecture directly. Phosphating, see, is a kind of a metal pre-treatment given on any metal components so that we can have a very good film built of paint, as well as it improves the adhesion of the paint so that the overall paint performance will be better, especially the corrosion resistance, water resistance, etc. And this kind of metal pre-treatment is interpreted in terms of phosphate coating. After all, that is, we are giving a layer, we are cleaning first with some suitable solvent or alkaline degreaser, and make sure that it should be totally free from any dust, oil, grease, etc. So that it should be like a virgin metal, it should be very raw. It means what? That is totally free from, the metal surface should be totally free from rust, dust in any form. Okay, so make the surface perfect. I'll be talking about the cleaning of various metals in the subsequent videos, but before that I just wanted to tell that the that is a good metal treatment can be achieved only by better metal cleaning. That is very important. Now let us go for this phosphate layer or phosphate coating. See, this phosphate coating, phosphate, let me explain about this phosphate first of all. That is PO4 3 minus. This is called phosphate anion. Phosphate anion. PO4 3 minus. Phosphate anion. It is the trivalent anion, and we have got various types of phosphate like calcium phosphate, that is very popular, then sodium phosphate, potassium phosphate, zinc phosphate, iron phosphate, etc. Okay, but we are very focusing on the three types of phosphate, that is iron phosphating, zinc phosphating, then manganese phosphating, and in fact in those days they had lead phosphating, but because of environmental problem issues we have totally banned this. So there is no scope for lead phosphate, so let us forget about it. Let us focus on iron phosphating, zinc phosphating, manganese phosphating. Okay, right. In iron phosphating, for instance, the tentative coating weight will be almost 30 to 100 gram, 30 to 100 milligram per square feet. Okay, 30 to 100. Even it may vary, that is 300 to 1000 also. It depends on the type of coating. Then zinc. Zinc has light weight, medium weight, and heavy coating weight formulations. So there are three types of zinc phosphate coating. And manganese phosphate coating. Here it is a heavy one, heavy coating. It is exclusively meant for, that is, oiling and greasing. So it is not entitled for any painting. Okay, so for it acts as a very good lubricant, and that is why it forms a very rough surface, porous surface of manganese phosphate. So manganese, that is 1000 to 3000 milligram per square feet. Zinc phosphating. So it has got light, medium, and heavy types. Light has 100 to 400 milligram per square foot. Light has 100 to milligram per square foot. That means that is for 1 square foot, it can deposit 100 to 400 milligram. Okay, and similarly medium. Medium is 450 milligram to 1000 milligram per square foot. It means that is we can coat that is a zinc phosphate of coating weight. Actually it is interpreted in terms of weight only. So 450 to 1000 milligram per square foot. Next, heavy. So heavy is intended generally for even greasing and that is a waxing. So here, or tubing also. So heavy 1000 to 3000 milligram per square foot. So with the increase of coating weight, actually it's the roughness, coating roughness will be more, and there will be a lot of porosity also. So if there is more porosity, that is not good for corrosion resistance. So, but at the same time, it can absorb the oil and waxes, and for that purpose, that is a heavy coating is recommended. And for corrosion resistance, by painting, either by liquid paint or powder painting, you can go for that is light to medium. Okay, right. And now let us focus on iron phosphating. Iron phosphating actually is very thin coating. Okay, so it is amorphous. Amorphous means that is non-crystalline. It is not crystalline, right? And it is almost virtually it is invisible. You cannot find so clearly the coating formation, even though the color may be uniform iridescent blue, we used to say, or bluish gray. And then the coating weight ranges from 30 to 100 milligram per square foot. So normally in terms of gram means 0.3 to 1 gram per square meter. Okay. Then paint adhesion is improved with the help of this iron phosphate coating. So what you do is, if you have got any component, and let me consider this component. So we have got the component here. Okay. So first you have to clean it properly, and after ensuring oil free, dust free, rust free surface. Okay. Then you can give a coating of iron phosphating. So if it is mildly coated, then you can give in fact, that is the furniture enamels, furniture paints are given on that is a lightweight iron phosphate coatings. Okay, so that is recommended. But if you insist for salt spray with the better salt spray resistance, that is corrosion resistance with better salt spray resistance, usually salt spray is the testing parameter that is useful for measuring the extent of corrosion resistance. Okay, so we used to give in terms of salt spray hours, salt spray resistant hours, according to ASTM B117. So here that is normally that is for certain components, probably that is they may insist for 100 or 200 hours, and in some cases 400 hours, in some cases 600 to 800 hours. In cases of tractors and other heavy weight equipments and machineries and automobiles, they may even go for 1000 hours of salt spray. Okay, so based on the type and nature of coating, that is the corrosion resistance can be enhanced. Okay, right. Now the paint adhesion can be improved with the help of this iron phosphate undercoat. Then you can when I say paint adhesion, adhesion of liquid paint as well as powder coating. Okay, then as I already mentioned, corrosion resistance. So it should be rust proof. That is, the rust should not be developed after painting. You know, that is sometimes after all, that is a painting is done for maintenance purposes and the decorative purpose. Aesthetic value is there. At the same time, it should have some decorative purpose as well as the protective purpose. Okay, right. Then the substrate generally for iron phosphating can be mild steel. Okay, then uniform blue to bluish gray color is obtained by this kind of iron phosphating. Okay, right. Then where you have to that is treat these components, you can have stainless steel bath where you can dip, and spray phosphating formulations are also available. In case of immersion, that is you have to you should have some good stainless steel bath. And then spray or dip, as I already told you, the method of applications can be spray or dip. Okay. Hi friends, welcome to my technical session. In this session, I'll be explaining about manganese phosphating. So in the previous lectures, I've been already talking about iron phosphating, zinc phosphating, and the introduction about the phosphating. So please go through previous videos, and in continuation of those videos, I am proceeding with this lecture on manganese phosphating. Manganese phosphating. So actually that is the manganese is represented by Mn, and it's a phosphate, that is a PO4 3 minus. And it's in fact the specialty of manganese is its variable valency from manganese +2 to +7. For example, in the case of potassium permanganate KMnO4, its valency is +7. Okay, and here there is a manganese sulfate, that is Mn2SO4, Mn, this is thrice. Okay, so Mn3SO4 twice, but you cannot expect such straight formula for manganese phosphate coating. It would be a combination of that is a hydrophosphate, hypophosphate, phosphate, manganese phosphate, iron phosphate. So it is a complex type of crystals. Okay, you cannot directly expect the pure manganese phosphate. Okay, right. But the major content is manganese, and it's a heavy phosphate. And in fact, its coating weight is 1,000 milligram to 3,000 milligram per square feet. Suppose if you consider a component of 1 square foot surface, and it will form, that is a porous surface. Okay, and it will be coarser also. The crystal structures will be coarser. So likewise, the weight will be, that is 1,000 milligram to 3,000 milligram per square foot, and they are larger crystals. Okay, and as I already suggested, that is they form very thick coating. So this is not suitable for painting, so you must understand that one. But probably that is, it may be useful for greasing, oiling, and it will be useful mainly applied on vehicles like aircraft, helicopter components, heavy automatic gears, steering parts, etc. Okay, then suppose if you want to reduce the particle size, what you can do is you can introduce that is surface conditioner prior to phosphate bath. Okay, and then you have got that is, it will withstand very good temperature, high temperatures also. Then the color will be dark gray or black. It is sometimes semi-decorative only, but you cannot leave it. You can leave this as such by oiling. Okay, and then as I already suggested, no coating is recommended, but oiling can be done, oiling, greasing, etc. Then immersion type, this is of immersion type. Okay, and as I already suggested, this is of heavy duty nature. Okay, so it's a heavy coating type. Hi friends, how are you? In today's session, I'll be explaining about zinc phosphating. This is one of the most frequently used metal pre-treatment by many metal finishing industries. Zinc phosphating. You know the formula of zinc, Zn, and the phosphate PO4 3 minus. So you can combine this, and this is zinc 2 plus. But as you expected, it will not contain only zinc phosphate. Along with that, you will be having iron phosphate also. But this iron phosphate, when it becomes a ferric phosphate, that is thrown out as the sludge. So it is a combination of phosphates. And major, you have got the zinc ion and phosphate ion. Okay, and here we have three types of zinc phosphate. One is lightweight zinc phosphate. It is fine and crystalline. In fact, in spray type, we have got two types of application, dip type and spray type. In spray type, you will be able to get lightweight, fine, crystalline phosphates, phosphate crystals. And this can also be used for dipping. Whereas, based on the coating weight, they are classified into lightweight, medium weight, heavy weight. Lightweight means the coating weight per square feet is 100 milligram to 450 milligram. Whereas it can be interpreted in terms of gram per square meter also. What you have to do is just divide by 10. so that 1 gram to 4.5 gram per square meter. And then medium weight 450 milligram to 1000 milligram per square feet. So here somewhat heavier than the lightweight. Of course it is a medium. So 450 milligram to 1000 milligram per square feet. And in terms of gram, 4.5 gram to 10 gram per square meter. When you take 1 square meter component, it will coat 4.5 gram to 10 gram. Okay, so this is known as medium weight, and these two are applicable for coating industries where after treatment of phosphating, they will give the top coat, the finish coat with liquid paint or powder coat. And the third variety is heavy weight. So here 1000 milligram to 3000 milligram per square feet. That is 10 gram to 30 gram per square meter. Okay. So here it will be slightly porous and it may not have aesthetic appearance, and it will have a matte finish also. So if you want to have a super glossy finish with a single coat of finish or double coat of finish, then I would suggest you go for lightweight, where you cannot get the highest corrosion resistance. There will be moderate corrosion resistance in terms of salt spray resistance hours. But when you go for medium weight, this is always ideal for any automotive industries. And this is somewhat a super weight nature. Okay. So with the increase of coating weight, you can have better corrosion resistance, but it will sometimes complicate also. So heavier the coating, it will have the hygroscopic tendency, so that the water test may be a failure. Okay, so take care. I would always suggest to go for the medium weight. Now, apart from that, we can have a single pack phosphating system or dual pack with the accelerator. Okay, so in my opinion, always go for dual pack with the accelerator. Okay, of course heat energy is required around 50 to 55 to 70 degrees centigrade, but that is the ideal phosphating. But as far as the cold process is concerned, it will take a longer duration. Okay, and not only that, it is not so efficient as that of dual pack also. And the better crystal lattice pattern can be achieved only by 55 to 70 degrees centigrade by using appropriate accelerators. Accelerators are nothing but oxidizing agents like nitrate, nitrite, chlorate, nitroguanidine, etc. Okay, so in single pack, it can be done at room temperature itself, but in a dual pack, you have to maintain the temperature. And I'll be talking about the heating element and what are the expected problems while processing the phosphate, so that it should be useful in the shopping floor level. Then I need to talk about the calcium modified zinc phosphate also. So here it will incorporate the formulator will incorporate some calcium salts, so that it will be finer. The coating will be finer, very smooth, and it has less sludge also. So the major problem with phosphating is the sludge. So nowadays, that is nano coating has been developed based on zirconic acids. So I will talk about that zirconia coatings also. So this is the latest nano coating technology, so that it will be eco-friendly and economical also. And not only that, the maintenance of bath will be very easier, and you won't get any sludge. And not only that, it will have the finest coating. Okay, and it will be ideal for liquid painting as well as powder coating. Okay, and there are a lot of inquiries for nano coating also. So if you are interested, you can send your inquiries. Okay, right. So in the next session, I'll be explaining about how to maintain a bath. Okay, so this is very, very important, and how to construct a bath, and if there is any problem in the process, what are all the important parameters, you have to look into that. okay, and what are the bath parameters to be maintained. All these details will be given in my next video. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.